Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 358 for Tuesday, the 29th of July, 2014. Nice to see you. My name is Robbie Ferguson.
I am Sasha Dermatis.
Tonight is an exciting night, Sasha. We are going to be giving away a stereo pair of the world's best hearing aids, the Beltone First hearing aids.
This is the
Got your balance.
best contest ever because it means that somebody truly deserving is going to get a real gift.
Exactly. So stick around, especially if you got your ballots in for that. Also, we're going to check out Sasha's blog she's been working on for the past week, see how things are going there, and also figure out how to secure WordPress, make it safer to operate a WordPress blog.
Fabulous.
Keep the hackers away from your site for you.
Yeah, and then here's what's coming up in the newsroom. Your shoe can vibrate to tell you when to turn left or right. The Chinese government is investigating Microsoft. Seagate has started shipping 8 terabyte hard drives with 10 terabyte drives on the horizon. And build your own Google Glass-like heads-up display with cheap parts and a baseball cap. These stories are coming up later in the show. Baseball cap.
Baseball
Very
cap.
fabulous.
I'm just about
baseball
ready.
Cap.
Because Old Salt sent me a baseball cap from Maine.
Nice.
I couldn't find a postcard, but there you have it.
That is a fabulous hat. Thank you, Old Salt.
Color coordinated with my shirt. I just realized that I have a pen in my pocket like a genuine nerd.
Is this why you guaranteed to me we wouldn't have a green screen today? Because you would not exist.
My head is
just a floating head.
All right. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great show.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Starring Sasha Dermatis, Hillary Rumble, Krista Wells, Eric Kidd, and your host, Robbie Ferguson.
Introducing Beltone First, a revolutionary new hearing aid. So small you can hardly see it. So comfortable you can hardly feel it. For the first time ever, you can control hearing aids directly from your iPhone. Pick up the phone, listen to music, and use your hearing aids like wireless headphones. Hear everything that matters. Try Beltone First. For a free trial, call 1-800-BELTONE now.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Hello. I hope Chris Lee is here. I really do.
I also hope Chris Lee is here. Holy.
That would be amazing.
Category5.tv is a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. And cat5.tv/TPN and the International Association of Internet Broadcasters, which is cat5.tv/IAIB.
We're about a week behind. I know. But 45 years ago, man landed on the moon.
And then walked.
Walked on the moon. It's a big deal, I think.
It is a big deal.
The only reason that I bring it up a little bit late is because look at what I found.
What
Look
did you
at
find?
What I found.
Is it a piece of moon rock? Oh.
Globe and Mail.
Where did you find
July
that?
21st, 1969. Look at that. So, a giant leap for mankind from 45 years ago, plus 8 days. While the world watched, man walked on the moon last night. Neil Armstrong clambered cautiously down a nine-rung ladder from his landing craft, Eagle, to become the first man to set foot on the moon and the soil of another celestial body. Wow. Time was 10:56. Isn't it interesting that this was news? Like, because I wasn't alive then.
I don't think I was either.
No, you weren't.
No, I'm pretty sure I was not.
So to me, this is, historical. This is like yesterday. Yesterday,
I want to just...
man walked on the moon.
Wow.
Here we are 45 years later saying 45 years ago man walked on the moon. This is the genuine article, and we actually came upon this. Becca found this at her grandmother's house just on Sunday.
Incredible.
Saturday.
I sort of want to open it up and read my horoscope.
I know, but it's in such pristine shape. Like, you imagine that they bought this and stuck it in a box somewhere. Mm-hmm. And it sat there for 45 years.
You know, it would be
Perfectly
great
protected.
Framed with a nice shadow box, some green matting.
Do we open it up ever so carefully, just enough?
Look at the back of it.
Oh, wow. See, we never opened it. Man on the moon. There
wow. And we join the world in congratulating the Apollo 11, is that right? Team who showed us history holding its breath.
Looks like an distant ancestor of the Dalek.
I love it. It's really just like a blip in time, though. Like 45
really
years, just like that.
Apparently.
Wow.
There you go. Just thought that was something really neat to show you.
Yeah. Somewhat sort of related. I just read in the news that 2 years ago, on the 25th, so July 25th, 2012, there was a solar flare that almost wiped out the entire world. And they didn't report it, I guess, because it would...
The mayhem.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't happen. So. But you're saying it was really, really close.
It was really close. It was so close that it just brings everything into perspective. Like, it was like 24 hours. So I guess that's incredibly close.
Had the Earth been
like something about shifting if we were one day sooner. You know how sometimes you're one day late on things? If they were on time, life would be different. And by different, I mean not here. The show would not be live.
If you enjoy the show, make sure you bring up our mobile website, m.cat5.tv. That gets you a hold of the whole mobile site, so you can check that out. Currently in beta for version 4, which has some great new features as well. So I want to thank all of those who have pitched in with Studio D. It's been an exciting time. I'm getting really, really excited because right now it is a mess. It's torn apart.
Yeah.
We've had people like Andy Christie came out, told me what needed to be done. Robert has been there doing caulking, said that today he finished doing 8 windows, all the doors.
So it's not easy, that caulking, is it?
No. Everybody says that these kinds of things are easy. And by everybody, that's kind of a generalization, but everybody who's been through kind of makes it sound a little bit easy because they're experienced.
Right.
But when you realize that, hey, you got to teach Robbie. Robbie's also got a video camera. You got to teach the folks at home watching Backstage Pass.
Right.
Hope you've been enjoying that.
Yes. Robbie is bald nerd, not bald handyman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so my poor dainty programming hands that have never seen, damage.
Yeah, they're getting calloused.
I'm getting calloused, and I got all these cuts and scrapes. And
then they're not paper
scars.
cuts.
No, these are sore. Yeah. And then Paulo is a viewer from about hour and a half away.
Who I got to meet.
You got to meet. Actually, I happen to have the video camera with me.
Oh, which is embarrassing.
Let's see Paulo's reaction to meeting Sasha Dermatis.
Say hi. I met Sasha. Hi, Sasha. How are you? he's a little tickled pink to meet you. So
I've seen you for so many years. You probably don't know who I am.
In the chat room, I'd know exactly who you were.
I've only recently gotten in the chat room.
Okay.
Sasha.
How is it?
Oh, it's really good. Don't show my burger. It's all messy.
So Paulo made the trek. And we had a great time, but we got a lot done. We had to pull down the drop ceilings, pull down the lights, because we're replacing all the lights. Landlord was good to bring us all new ones. We got to do the work.
So it was a lot of work. They came in very hungry.
We were starving. Yeah. So she fed us well. So thank you to everybody who's pitched in, Paulo especially, Robert, Andy, all those who have actually come to the Studio D project and actually pitched in, and it's just been incredible to see all the work coming together. So getting exciting.
I am really looking forward to seeing the end result. I'm going to visit before the end result. It seems like I'm going to be that person who says, do you need any help, right as the last thing happens? Like
it's
the
tough
last
because
nail.
I work full-time too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there at 6:30 in the morning. I go to work. and then I come. Once I'm done work, sometimes I'll grab dinner first, but quite often I just head straight back to the studio and work until whenever I'm done for that evening. So, so it's been a busy, long days and things like that, getting things done.
Totally.
But it is getting done, so that's what's important. So, if you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the Backstage Pass videos about Studio D. If you are not a handy person, such as myself, you know, you're not a handyman or whatever you want to call it, you're not good with that kind of stuff, it's a good opportunity for you to learn from some people who really are good at it, because these people have come in, and Backstage Pass gives you an opportunity to learn along with me. And it's amazing that, you know, since Paula was there on Sunday, I have wired 4 more lights since he was there. So I'm getting some of the work done because he's taught me how to do it. So if you'd like to learn those skills, you'll be able to follow along with the videos at cat5.tv/studio. We also were raising money for a new camera, which is exciting. And thank you to everybody who supported that by buying a t-shirt or by donating or possibly a hoodie. Hoodies are awesome. The Teespring campaign, we sold 15 shirts, which is enough to, you know, they'll be sending us a small check that will go toward the camera. So that's awesome. So thank you very much. But what they've said is if 15 more people want shirts, they will do another run. So you've got a chance if you go over to teespring.com/category5, and from there place your order, even if they're 14 away, because over the next little while, if 15 people buy, they'll send you your shirt, and then they send us a check to help with the purchase of the camera.
Yes,
which we're getting closer to. So if you don't want a shirt, or you don't want to do it that way, if you want to make sure that we get more of the proceeds, because a shirt, of course, they have to print it, so there are costs involved, you can also just donate directly to the project. cat5.tv/studio is where you'll go to find out how you can support it and what it is that we're actually doing. So
that's right. And then we'll get a new camera, and you'll see more of us better.
Be amazing.
That's bad grammar.
We've got such a wide space.
Right.
Here, it's like, okay, this is camera. That's as far as we can go. And that's, you know, I can actually reach the other side of the camera. That's the field of view that we have to work with. So imagine we're in a studio space in Studio D that is, pardon me, 4 times the width.
Wow.
And we'll be able to do a lot more with a bigger camera. So it's pretty exciting.
Wow. Okay. That's exciting.
Yes. Cool.
Get your t-shirts now.
We're going to change a life right now. This is incredible, folks. Thank you for sending in your ballots. We've been saying it for a while now. You know, if you or someone that you love has hearing loss, we want to help. Category 5 and Beltone Canada have teamed up. We're going to give away a pair of Beltone First hearing aids. We've got them here. We want to send these out to you. They're valued at about $7,000, and we're also including, see, the thing with Beltone First, they're intelligent hearing aids. These are the best ones you can get. They're modern, they're cutting edge, and what's neat about them is they actually require you to get tested by a professional that is trained with these particular hearing aids, because they'll find the frequencies that you don't do too well with. They will program these specifically. They're like little itty-bitty computers, and they'll program them to enhance those frequencies that you have trouble with. Plus, they are Bluetooth enabled, so they communicate with your iPhone or iDevice, and you can control it. It remembers your environmental preferences. So if you go to a particular restaurant, you know, I frequent certain coffee shops. If I find that a particular setting works best at this coffee shop, I can memorize it on my phone, and then every time I walk through the doors, my hearing aid automatically adjusts. You walk into church, it automatically adjusts. You go into the lecture hall, it automatically adjusts, because the geolocation of your phone tells the hearing aids, okay, I've been here before, we need to adjust to this setting. Because what happens otherwise with some of the lesser hearing aids is it just amplifies the room. So if somebody drops a book, that's what you're hearing amplified.
Oh,
if
I can't
somebody's
even
clearing
imagine.
their throat or tinkling dishes, that's what you're hearing amplified. With Beltone First, it specifically zones in on what matters.
And then dampers down some of the other...
Dampens down the rest.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to focus on the voice so that you can hear people talking much, much better. That's Beltone First. So, check them out, beltone.com. Are you ready?
All right.
We've got your stories. I was so privileged to read through some of the stories of why people want to get their hands on a Beltone First device.
I was reading through as well, and I was just thinking to myself after reading them all, I want to have everybody to win. I wish everybody could win.
Yeah, for sure. So here, Drawbot is going out and grabbing all those ballots, and here we go.
Okay.
There we are. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so I see some familiar faces. Let's see if we can get through some of these stories. Do you see some faces? Some names here?
Fort Wayner, both his father and father-in-law have hearing troubles.
We want to help.
Tour Pink, his adult daughter has had hearing loss since toddlerhood. So that's a great gift.
Alpec has a perfectly fine inner ear, but there's actually a hole in his eardrum that has been detrimental to his hearing. He had surgery, but it was unable to be corrected that way. So Beltone First would be just an enormous improvement for him.
Bob K54, if he wins, is giving it to his 80-year-old mother-in-law who has been hindered by her hearing loss.
Albuquerque Turkey as well has trouble in one ear, and also the other one doesn't work.
Most Fungi has had hearing loss his whole life since the age of 2. Some frequencies just can't be heard, which makes sense then. Beltone First would be the perfect solution.
Perfect solution.
All right, let's see.
The winner tonight of a Beltone First hearing aid is Alpec.
Alpec.
Congratulations, Alpec. You're the winner of a Beltone First pair of stereo headphone hearing aids. They work like headphones in a way that you've got one for the left, one for the right, and it's gonna. I think that's gonna just absolutely improve. That's just gonna improve life.
Yeah, after surgeries that haven't worked.
Yeah.
Right. So.
I think so. Let's look at some of these other stories too. Alpec, thank you very much for sending in your ballot and for sharing your story. Thank you to everybody who casted their ballots. I hope that you're going to check out Beltone anyways. Go to beltone.com, and of course you can also request a free trial. You just give them a phone call, 1-800-BELTONE. There's the info for you there. They're also on Twitter, Facebook. They've got some social media profiles on their website. Just go to beltone.com for all of that. But I encourage you to check them out. And also, we want to make the show as accessible as possible. So if there's something that we can do here at Category 5 to help, I was surprised with how many people watch the show that do have a hearing impairment, some severe, some a little more moderate, but some people have a great deal of difficulty hearing. And I want to know here at the show, because we do our best to be accessible, what can we do to make the show more accessible to you? Closed captionings are kind of out of the question unless somebody volunteered to do that because of the cost. With a 1 hour weekly show, it's extremely expensive. But I promise you, I did look into it. We have had some conversations with companies hoping that maybe they would contribute that, but it hasn't come about. So if there's anything we can do. But in the meantime, congratulations to Alpec. Thank you to everybody else who sent in their ballot, their story. Can we share a couple more of these? Data Mangler was actually working in the U.S. Air Force as a jet engine mechanic, and that, of course, ended up causing problems with his hearing as a result of that.
Let's see. Who's Alban
007?
Yeah, is very proud of her brother, has become an inspiration for many, learning to speak Mandarin and even hosting an educational radio program in Taipei despite his hearing loss.
Amazing.
That's incredible. Let's see if we have...
Did we talk about Voyaging Techie?
No. Moderate to severe hearing loss that would love to upgrade from his current hearing aids to the Beltone First.
FD Albanese?
Yeah.
Their brother has been wearing hearing aids nearly all his life, and while he may not have been blessed with good hearing, he's a wonderful listener. So FD Balinese would love to see their brother get a hold of a Beltone First set of hearing aids as well.
Erica's dad has scarring on his eardrums which cause permanent hearing loss. Would like to be able to hear Category 5 better, for one thing. So.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, amateur radio man has been losing his hearing since he was a teen. Having spent time aboard the U.S. Navy submarine, he experienced side effects from the effects of the vacuum. And has difficulty hearing higher frequencies. I didn't even know that does affect your hearing.
If there's a problem with the vacuum or with the pressure, I would think that you could have some pretty severe side effects, and your hearing would be the first to,
I can't
you
even
think
imagine.
about your ears popping, right? At those depths.
Goodness.
IBM Jim?
Absolutely loves everything audio from
everything
music.
Audio.
Everything audio from music to
like
film.
He
wouldn't damper down anything. He loves everything audio.
Turn it up.
Everything would be high def hearing. Definition, not high def. Okay, but due to hearing loss in both ears, has been struggling for some time. Watching a show with his wife, for example, is tough because she has fine hearing. He'd like to be able to adjust some Beltone First hearing aids to accommodate his hearing loss,
right,
and allow his wife to enjoy the show at the level she wants to listen to it.
Right. You see, that's the other thing is when you're in a room, you don't realize maybe you're even yelling because you've got difficulty hearing. You think when my kids have hearing headphones on, listening to music, what do?
They yell.
Dad!
Yeah.
Don't yell. Dad!
Exactly.
Kids do it.
It's like that on the phone.
The same effect.
With a bad reception phone. When I work at a restaurant, we get calls for takeout. When somebody can't hear me because either they have hearing loss or they have bad reception, they yell through the phone, and I'm dampering down the volume.
Right.
And so I understand there's a lot of complexity.
So how nice to be able to have the TV at a regular level. Turn up the Beltone First. Well, not even. It's not like this anymore. Beltone First is going to be on your iPhone. So that's cool. J. Blake 58. Did you read that one? J. Blake 58, our final story
he has his own hearing loss to deal with. He really wants to win these for his dad, whose hearing loss is further progressed and whose lower end hearing aids squeal a lot.
I hear you there. Yeah, Beltone First don't do that. So we really wish we read these because, I think it's wonderful to hear the stories. I see Invincible Mutant there too.
Did I read that one?
Did you read that about his father?
No, that one's heartbreaking. That's why. His father has been struggling with hearing loss for some time. Invisible Mutant just wants to be able to whisper in his dad's ear again or call him on the phone. So
I really wish we could give a pair of these to everybody, folks. I really do. Congratulations, Alpec. Thank you, everyone, for sending in your wonderful stories. We appreciate that very much. Please visit Beltone.com. Find out more about them. Even if you didn't win tonight, they are absolutely the best hearing aids on earth. Make sure you check them out. They do have multiple different types of hearing aids, so whether this is the one for you or whether something else that Beltone has to offer is more along the lines of what you need, check them out, Beltone.com, or call 1-800-BELTONE. Thanks, everybody.
Wow.
All right.
Great gifts. So now is WordPress, right?
You ready for it?
I think so.
How's it been going? Okay, Sasha.
Okay. Here is how it's been going.
Well, you've got a blog now.
I have a blog.
We need to know.
SashaDermatis.com. And I have been thinking about it daily.
Are you sleeping?
Well, here's the problem. And I don't know how many of you have blogged before. I know you've blogged, and I don't understand how you seem so calm all the time still. Although, I don't know, maybe you're used to it. I will think, I mean, my blog is about things that are really happy, things that make me happy, changing perspective on, I mean, I encounter people who,
and stuff like that.
I encounter people a lot of times and I want to shake them and say, look at the bright side. So mine is a very bright side blog.
I think sometimes we need that. So folks, check her out, SashaDermatis.com.
But I end up sitting at my laptop and sweating a lot and panicking and wondering and deleting and backtracking, and I go in with one idea and come out with another, and I have 1,000 things I want to say, but I mean, I realize I've only done 2 entries, so there's a lot still left to do.
Sure.
But I find it, I will get more comfortable. I'm finding it very intimidating. I guess I feel like my ego is so large that I'm going to write a blog and it's going to go on CNN and it's going to be picked apart by like Wolf Blitzer or whatever his name is. What's his name? Anyway. Anyway, yeah, I'm just having I'm loving it. I am loving blogging because it's a challenge and it makes me uncomfortable, and I like things that are challenging and uncomfortable.
I think it's like anything, though. Like even coming on the show. at first you're hesitant. It's nerve-wracking being in front of so many people. And then you get used to it and you realize, oh, we're just having a conversation. It's fun. We're kind of a family here, so to speak, and so it becomes comfortable.
Right.
Blogging, same thing. You sit down and it's okay. I got to think, and you got to plan it. And you do. It's writing, but there comes a point in conversation, and you're conversing with your readers where you just share your thoughts.
Right. And I thought because I'm a natural conversationalist, I would be just an automatic natural blogger. But there's a lot of feedback I depend on when I'm conversing with people. So even if it's non-verbal, so it's like the head nod, or like I can tell that somebody's engaged. Whereas when you're sitting alone at a computer and you're typing, you actually don't know until you submit and get a comment back on whether or not what you wrote even makes sense.
We need to get her a bobblehead.
Just constantly that. But it does, I will say, make me extra aware, and I'm already quite aware of the awesome things in life, but it makes me extraordinarily aware because now I'm looking for things to blog about. So, for example, my last blog was about chipmunks at a campsite.
Yeah, and I got to say, I mean, the feedback so far from the readers has been they love what you're doing. They think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for encouraging her, too.
I love doing it, as uncomfortable as it is.
But that said, you've only posted two items, and they're perfect. Like, it's great.
Thank you.
It's good material. A good analogy with the chipmunks. You have to read it. SashaDermatis.com. We're not going to tell the story.
No.
But
I will show you my burn, though. For anybody who wants to see it.
Now, okay, that's going to be the...
That's my crazy burn.
Right there.
That's not what my blog is about.
No, but it starts with that, doesn't it?
Yes, it all started
with
that.
The lessons learned from crazy burns and chipmunks.
And plans gone awry.
Well, you did an excellent job so
Thank
far.
you.
So I'm looking forward to reading more. But as it is, I'm the tech guy. I've got to help you with the technical end of things.
Thank you. Because I do have technical questions, and they might not actually... Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, this is technical 0.5. So I was blogging, and I accidentally, somewhere on my keyboard, and I don't know where on my keyboard, I hit overwrite instead of insert. So you know what I'm talking about, where insert is when you type something and then you have another thought, so you go in the middle of the sentence and you click and you type your new thought, and it just separates the sentence and adds your new thing inside. But overwrite is
so I'm gonna just put something up on my screen. You tell me if if this is what you mean.
Okay.
So, test.
Right.
And so you go over here and you say, okay, I want to put in the.
Yeah.
And it's going like that.
See, exactly. Okay.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. But I don't know how to unmake that happen.
Okay. So, test. There's a button on your keyboard called insert.
Where is it?
I'm going to show you, and then you're going to show the viewers at home.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
And it's always in the same similar place.
It's not
keyboard.
on here.
On this one, it's down here.
Okay.
But it's always the same thing. It might say...
What might it also say?
INS.
Okay.
Can this...
Okay.
Is there enough slack on that?
Oh, yes.
See, there's a button that says insert. And that's the button.
So there.
It is.
So is there not one ever that's like overwrite or...
No.
Okay, so I'm looking for insert.
It's an either or.
It's an either
insert or don't insert.
I have no clue where it is on my laptop. I'm going to have to search for it.
Okay, look for it.
And I thought I've just ruined it permanently.
No. No, and that's not a Linux thing. That's not a blogging thing. That's you set your keyboard.
Do you want to know what's funny?
Insert mode. What?
I had to rewrite that entry.
No way.
Like over and over and over again.
You couldn't figure out how to get out of insert mode?
No, I couldn't figure it out at all.
She's learning, folks.
Yeah, and if I hadn't absolutely promised I would have that entry done, I would have saved it and finished it after this question was answered.
There you go. Okay. Jot mentioning there might be a code key because it's a laptop. Laptops sometimes have a function key, and then it might be
I bet you that
somewhere in there.
That is it. Because I bet you I have done a double whammy on this.
You look for it. Let us know if you can't find it.
Okay, I'll be back.
Look for insert on your keyboard. That's what toggles that if you ever have that problem. But Jot's right. It could be a function key.
Yeah, and you're right, DJ Quad. It is frustrating. Oh.
Certainly if you don't know and you have to retype your blog because it's over-typing everything.
Like, I made a pot of coffee, and I went through an entire pot of coffee. An entire pot. Well, I was trying to figure this out. This was supposed to be a one cup of coffee deal. Okay. I can't call you with a question like that.
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. You can call me with a question like that. Just give me a call. 254-5-CAT-5-TV. Really easy. If you want to memorize it like this. 2545-CAT-5-TV. We should have a jingle. 2545-CAT-5-TV. There you go.
Okay.
Somebody turn that into dubstep. Okay, so we're going to take a very brief break as we talk about the tech news that you mentioned at the top of the show. When we come back, we're going to talk about how we can set up your blog more securely, because WordPress, out of the box, is not a safe solution. Last week we learned how to download it, how to install it, and the basics about how to use it. Mm-hmm. But it's still very hackable. There's still a chance that somebody could post Viagra ads all over your blog.
On my blog?
All over it.
No.
Yeah.
If there are Viagra ads on my blog, they are not from me.
You figured that out.
You hear that? Yeah, you heard it here
practice.
first.
There are ways that people can exploit your blog, figure out your username. We're going to thwart those today. And we're going to cut down on the amount of spam as well. So if you use a WordPress blog or you've been thinking about it, don't go anywhere because this is important stuff. We're going to learn how to make that a lot more secure. So,
all right.
Meantime, take it away.
In the meantime, here are the top stories from the Category5.tv newsroom. This is fabulous. The next wave in wearable tech might just be a smart shoe from India. The Lachal, meaning take me along in Hindi, has a Bluetooth-enabled shoe insert that hooks up with Google Maps and buzzes to let you know which way to turn on your chosen route, which is perfect unless you put the shoes on the wrong feet. The shoe hooks up with
maybe it's a smart shoe.
Maybe it'll beep. Yeah. The shoe The shoe hooks up with an app that syncs with Google Maps, tracks your steps, and counts your calories burned. The shoe itself can be used for jogging around town. I want this pair of shoes so badly. I can't, except that they're not very good looking.
I'm going to talk to you about that in a second.
The shoe itself can be used for jogging around town. It's not just for joggers, though.
Just for joggers, cuz
the insert fits inside pretty much any shoe in your closet.
There you go.
Want to listen to tunes while driving instead of Siri navigation? The Lachal could vibrate to let you know when to turn instead. It can be used for hands-free biking, hiking, walking, tourists not wanting to look down at a map every 5 seconds as well. It would be horrible if you were ticklish.
Ticklish feet.
We have to return right now.
So you can take the insert and put it in your normal shoes.
Right.
And then do whatever. So it buzzes on the foot that you're supposed to turn.
Right.
So, smart idea. But you think, okay, well, that could get a little bit useless, I guess.
What do you mean?
Well, it's one of those things. Is it a fad kind of thing? And they think, okay, well, it also has
the pedometer.
The ability to track calories burned.
Yeah.
And they're implementing things to make it a more of a smart interface using things like foot gestures. So if you so you're jogging, right? And then you stop at a landmark and you tap your toe on the ground. And it makes your phone augment reality and tell you about the landmark that you're standing at.
Oh, that would be cool.
Things like that.
And if you're happy and you click your heels, it'll do something too. And if you tap your tap your heels 3 times.
There you go.
I like this. I like it a lot. I'm fiercely competitive. I feel like I would want it for the pedometer aspect as well, and a scavenger hunt.
You could be, if you're a cab driver, you could be a boss because you would have your GPS set up, and people would get in and say, "I need to go here." And Siri would know what they said. Yeah. And it would just buzz your shoes.
Here's the thing. And you're right, good guy. The NSA would know everywhere you were. But you could hack into everybody's shoes, and you could be like, it would be like the world of zombies. You could make everybody just lead everybody to you. I I love these shoes. I want to own them. I want to own all of your shoes.
I don't like what you plan to do with them.
I always have a dark turn on the news. What? Wow. Okay. The Chinese government is investigating Microsoft, raising the potential of further troubles for them in China. Chinese media reported that China's State Administration for Industry and Commerce made a sudden visit to Microsoft offices in the Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Chengdu, but didn't tell the company the reason for the investigation. Investigators also collected Microsoft internal documents, communications, financial statements, and emails. China launched the raid after a June investigation showed Microsoft might be breaking China's anti-monopoly rule. I also hate monopoly. According to the translated document, the charges deal with how Microsoft links its Windows operating system and Office suite. China specifically points to software compatibility and file verification. Since the revelations of the U.S. National Security Agency spying activities were leaked last year, China has used the opportunity to accuse such companies such as Microsoft, Google, and Apple of cooperating with the NSA to gather data and steal state secrets, and we're unsure if that's really the underlying cause of their investigation. Interesting. I don't know. Ugh. Okay. Seagate has started delivering early samples of its 8 terabyte hard drive to major customers. This is a big deal. While Western Digital hit 6 terabyte last year by filling its hard drives with helium, Seagate appears to be pushing the 3.5-inch spinning disk storage envelope by simply increasing areal density. I don't actually understand what that means.
It sounds really dangerous.
Areal density.
Okay. The Western Digital ones are filled with helium, so they're really light. Ha-ha! But if they're increasing the density, you look at the surface, the platter of that drive, and you think, okay, it's like a record. Think about a record and the needle that goes over that. Well, a record had the grooves.
Right.
And each groove was a song, and it would play around. And so if you were to increase the density of the grooves so that more grooves could fit on a single LP, using that as the analogy so that it can kind of make sense. And a lot of kids are saying, what's an LP?
I know what an LP is.
You do.
I do.
You do. Do you?
Do you?
And if you don't, it's coming back, so you're going to find out. So by increasing the density, they're able to fit more sectors or grooves on the platter surface. So they're increasing the density of the drive, which is dangerous because if it gets a little bit chipped or if you...
Right.
You lose more.
Ooh, see, that means you need to back up more. Back up everything.
But if you've got an 8 terabyte hard drive, where are you going to back it up to?
2 4 terabyte hard drives.
Yes.
Western Digital, on the other hand, hasn't announced anything new since November. The missing information from Seagate is when these hard drives are coming to the consumer market and how exactly Seagate is reaching such incredible storage densities. They have a time machine, and in the future, they have 20 terabyte drives. And
sonic screwdriver. They just took a 300 gig hard drive and just held it up and made it glow. I think, okay, if you ever see an 8 terabyte hard drive or 6 terabyte or 4 terabyte, whatever, 10 terabyte, and you're going to use it for data storage, you think, oh, that's a lot of space. Great. I think RAID 1 is really the only safe, if anything, safe with those. What's safe with an 8 terabyte hard drive? You have to have redundancy, because if that ever failed, chances of getting data recovery on an 8 terabyte worth of data...
I can't even imagine.
If the data recovery lab gets it to spin up, the time it would take to recover from 8 terabytes would be so long, like a couple days, that it would fail.
So the only way an 8 terabyte hard drive would make sense to be safe would be if a 10 came out.
No, well, in my opinion, it would
that be?
If you had a RAID 1, that would be 2 of them together. So you'd still only have 8 terabytes, but they're copies of each other. So if this one fails, this one still exists. But then, here's the problem. You put in another one to replace it, and it has to read every single sector on this one to this one, possibly causing this one to fail during the process. So then you've lost the second one. Very, very dangerous. So it's really like a RAID 1 with 3 drives, or a RAID 1 with an external like an extra backup.
I wonder how they're going to actually convince people then. Maybe they'll do a buy one, get one. Buy one, get one free.
I think probably
Deal.
large-scale networks that need lots and lots of space and can do like RAID 6+1s and like crazy arrays that have redundancy of redundant arrays. That's the only place that it's really going to be safe, if you will. The bigger things get, folks, the more capacity. It's like the camera cards. You get these guys, right? The SD cards. The problem with having a 32 gig SD card, people don't tend to clear off their camera card.
Right.
So you have all your pictures on a very unreliable piece of media.
I have actually seen one of those get fried accidentally.
I've seen many get fried. So the problem with getting larger capacity-wise is that you're going to eventually lose data, guaranteed.
All right. Next, it may look a bit like a Borg implant gone wrong, and it does. But Arvind Sanjeev has achieved something awesome. He has built an open source Raspberry Pi powered Google Glass clone using Linux and voice recognition software. It's called the Smart Cap, and it's connected to a hat. And it is fabulous. And I like Raspberry Pi. By using off-the-shelf...
Not the same thing, Sasha.
By using off-the-shelf components and some software, he's been able to create a fairly solid facsimile of an augmented reality headset with an open source tools and cheap hardware. While the prototype looks rough, anyone with some skill could create one for cheap. That would have been unheard of 10 years ago. Check out the cat5.tv/HUD for details on this project.
And I should mention that's HUD.
HUD. Oh, yes. Sorry. HUD.
cat5.tv/HUD.
Oopsie.
There you go. That's,
All
yeah.
Yeah, so...
Heads-up display.
Yeah, in this news, we have learned that I like Raspberry Pi and do not like Monopoly. Get the full stories at category5.tv/newsroom. The category5.tv newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by Tennessee Frank and our community of viewers. If you have a news story that you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@category5.tv. For the category5.tv newsroom, I am Sasha Dermatis.
Tennessee Frank likes pie.
Does he like
I like pie. And if you get the reference,
I do.
10 points.
No points for this girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Flight of the Conchords.
Still no clue. I don't even know if
I
don't even know if Concords are birds or planes right now. But flight means that they're probably one or the other.
All right. Moving along then, before he gets angry. You've seen the IT crowd, right?
You asked me on this show.
Did you try turning it off and on again? All right, let's take a look at your blog.
Okay.
You are learning blogging.
I'm learning blogging.
That's something.
It's actually...
Somebody send her some DVDs, will you?
Yeah. It's awesome, though.
Okay, well, this is going really, really well. Your site looks great. We're using just a generic template. We are going to, in future, look at spicing up the look of it and make it look, nice for you. But this is a good start. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to login. And we know that every WordPress site is /wp-login, .php. So, if we find a WordPress site and we want to log into it, we just go to wp-login.php. That is problem number 1.
That is a problem. What?
That's problem number 1.
Why is that a problem?
Because now everybody knows where your login form is.
Right.
WordPress is notorious also for name dropping your user accounts. So if you log in as Sasha, people can find your login information. They don't know your password, but they can start guessing at it. So those are a few of the things that we're going to touch on tonight. First thing, we need to get rid of the login form.
Okay.
We need to make it so that nobody else can find the login form.
But can I ask just a simple question?
Yes.
Why is it that it's a problem to find the login form? For example,
because then I can start guessing.
But there's a login form for everything, right? So, but everybody knows where to find the login forms for everything, don't they? Like the Facebook login form.
So think about this.
Okay. I'm ready.
We're stripping away one of the ways that somebody could try to break into your site and
Gotcha.
become an administrator.
Like
because
hiding the
there
front
is
door.
no reason, because you're blogging.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a community site where a lot of people need to log in. It's just you. So there's no reason that anyone but you should ever have to log into your site.
Okay.
That's why we're going to hide the login form.
That makes sense.
That's rule number 1.
Okay.
Hiding the login form so that other people can't log into your site or attempt to. We are also... Sorry, but... wish I had like a Halls or something. Do I? No. Okay. Second thing. We are going to change it so that your username cannot be picked up by bots. So that they can't try to keep guessing at your password by using a username that exists.
Okay.
And the third thing is that we are going to make it so that if they do try, if they do try over and over again to guess at Sasha's password, it's going to block their IP address.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Okay?
That's good.
Those are the 3 things we're going to touch on tonight, and we may even go a little bit further if we have time.
Okay.
And if not, you will have to tune into part 3.
The next segment.
Okay, so let's log in as you.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to log in as me, actually, because I'm the super administrator.
Oh, perfect. Good. At least
Okay?
you will, yeah. At least if I have a problem, I know you can get in there and help me.
Here we go. We're in. So, installing plugins in WordPress is very, very easy. But before we do that, I want to explain to you why we might need to do that. Because WordPress, it's not that it's a bad system or an insecure system. It's that it is the bare bone. It's the platform on which to build.
Okay.
When you get a Windows system, you don't run it without an antivirus. When you get WordPress, you don't run it without some kinds of security tools to protect you against the threats that are out there.
Okay.
Right? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to add some of those tools. First of all, I mentioned that we want to cut down on the Viagra things. The Cialis ads and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That usually comes in through comment spam. So we're going to go to Plugins, Add New. And actually, you'll notice that if you go to Installed Plugins, there's already a anti-spam product installed called Akismet. But it's not actually activated. And if you do activate it, it will prompt you need to actually sign up for an Akismet API key, and that's going to cost you money unless you are a free site. And even still, it's going to require you to set up a WordPress.com account. I kind of want to avoid all those steps, so I'm just going to go Add New. Akismet works fantastically well. It's really, really good.
Okay.
If you want to try that one out, give it a go. But I'm going to show you an alternative, which is absolutely free. So we're going to go Antispam B. So see, I've clicked on Plugins, Add New, and in search I'm just going Antispam B.
Oh, B.
Yeah, like a bumblebee.
I said, yeah,
Okay.
Bumble.
There it is. So now I go Install Now, and OK. That's the one. This is blog spam. It's in a different language.
That could be German.
Quite likely. Activate plugin is the next step. We want to turn it on, and then go down to Settings for Antispam B. You'll see that it is in my native language now, and we can set up any of these kinds of settings. So, trust approved commentators, yeah. The defaults are probably good for you, but you can change these settings if you like. For example, use a public anti-spam database. So, if Robbie's site found that this person is a spammer, let's also block it on Sasha's site. So it becomes a kind of a cloud infrastructure. You may or may not want that, but we'll enable that for the added security of that.
Okay.
Block comments from countries. We're not going to do that.
I like all countries.
But some people may want to do that depending on the nature of their site.
Right. Mine is very happy. I want all countries to read my blog.
I like to be able to see that it's doing its job, so I'm going to turn things on like spam counter. Now, this doesn't change their ability to read. This changes their ability to post comments.
Okay.
Okay, so I've turned on a spam counter on the dashboard so that we can see when people post spam. Do we want to automatically delete spam? Might want to do that after 14 days or maybe 30 days, just to give you time to go in and make absolutely certain that it is spam before it actually deletes its delete comments by spam reasons, limit, and so on. So a couple of different settings that you can do there. Really, really easy. Save changes, flatter them, PayPal them, say thanks. I encourage you to do that with any service that you appreciate. Now, your blog is spam-free.
Just like that.
Done.
Spamless.
Okay. Next up. What was point number 2? Well, we want to stop people from being able to find... we want to stop them from being able to find the login form.
Yes.
Okay? I think that was point number 1.
That was point 1.
All right. So, again, plugins, add new, and what we want to do is we want to add a plugin that's going to stop them from being able to do that. So we're going to use rename wp-login.php, and it does exactly what you would expect. So rename wp-login.php. So search for it. There it is. What does it do? It renames wp-login.php, light plugin that allows you to change wp-login.php, because you can't just rename it.
I have a question.
Yes.
All of a sudden it occurs to me, how will I find it?
I will tell you.
Okay.
We'll whisper it.
Okay.
Nobody else will know.
Because right now all I do is I start typing into my thing and it completes it. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay, you show.
The login URL is... So, for example, $potato. Okay? We can remember that?
Yes.
Okay? So, sashadomatis.com $potato. So, now save that. Now, if I log out, okay, I'm going to just log right out of your site.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to
log back.
Go back to wp-login.php, and what do you find?
Not found.
Okay. wp-login.php, and it converts it over to all these dashes, and it just crashes and says not found. If I instead go $potato, ta-da!
Hey!
And there we go. And we're in. Okay. So I'm going to log in.
Okay.
And here we are. I'm in using potato.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, so plugins. And that, again, how hard was that?
That was
Nobody's
easy
ever
for
gonna guess
Robbie.
Potato. Make it something crazy. I sometimes use a password generator to create a crazy long thing.
Right.
And that becomes my link to get in. I bookmark it. I remember it.
Yeah.
Nobody else needs it.
That's very fabulous.
Okay, next step. We need to make it so that people can't find our username. And I know that you think that you saw all the usernames, but I took the liberty of changing your username for you, deleting the account, moving things around for the sake of the demonstration. So, next up, we need to go WP Author Slug. Because here's what happens with WordPress. When you post an article, when you post a blog entry, there will be a link to Sasha Dermatis' profile, and it will give them the archive of everything that is Sasha Dermatis' writings. Right?
Okay.
In the URL, it will say sashadermatis.com/author/Sasha/ so whatever the file is. Mm-hmm. So Sasha happens to be the username that you use to log into the website. We want to change that. So we've done a search for WP Author Slug. A slug is basically a
slug is a disgusting garden thing.
No, it's actually, so if it's
sorry.
It's like the file name, basically.
What I like is we've looked up bees and now slugs.
Yes. We're basically planting a garden, folks.
Insects.
Activate.
Yeah, all things on the computer, insects.
So.
Or rodents.
WP Author Slug, you notice that there's no settings there?
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll actually look under settings. And I don't see it there. We're going to go permalinks. Watch this. Permalinks. Now, we see... There's our login URL, tag base, category base, custom structure default, number of tags. Let's find it. I thought it was there. Plugins, install.
Hello, Dolly.
Yeah, that just literally puts Hello Dolly. You can delete that. That just comes with the blog. Your profile. Here we go. So, public display of my name lets me change it so that you don't see what my username is.
Okay.
Right? And I think I lost it on that one. Where did it go? I'm looking. We needed to find it for you.
Okay.
I think it may just WP Author Slug, unzip it, activate, and done. That's it.
It's done already?
Well, how did I...
So then how...
Like, I'm feeling lost because there's no settings. There literally are no settings.
So then how do I know what my...
Well,
Wait.
it hides your username. That's all. So now if I go to your blog,
Okay.
now that it's activated, let's try it from the front end.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I am, I'm looking around for it. So this is where the link would normally be, Sasha Dermatis, right? So I click on you, and it would put your name up there.
Oh, and it just puts author? No, wait.
Yeah, it's kind of, it hasn't disclosed hasn't disclosed it. So.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's good.
I think so. That one I'm not 100% on, but I'm going to double check and I'm going to make sure that I follow up if it's not. But that plugin is great anyways, and it looks like it's literally just activate it and you're done. Okay, final step to securing our website is making sure that if somebody does try to keep on guessing at our password, they're going to get blocked.
Okay.
That's what I really, really want, because that's what happens. Because what they do is they find the username and then they brute force the password, and you have no way of knowing.
They
How would you
just
know?
hook it up to a computer program, right? That tries to, yeah.
But how would you know? How would you know that somebody's trying to guess your password and finally got in? Eventually you'd realize that your blog has been defaced.
Right.
Somebody's posted a bunch of vile things.
Now, the one good thing is I have password box generated passwords. So it would take the computer...
It'd be very, very difficult for them to guess.
But that said, I would rather them not have any chance to try, just in case, right?
Exactly. So let's set up another plugin here. This is our final one. It's basically, think of this as a firewall for WordPress. I'm going to go add new under plugins. This is called Wordfence. And again, you just do a quick search. And we're going to go install now. Notice it's got 5 out of 5 stars. Wordfence starts by checking if your site is already infected. So it does a lot more than just a firewall. It actually scans for malware and things like that. It does a deep server-side scan of your source code, comparing it to the official WordPress repository for core, themes, plugins. Pardon me. And they secure your site. It actually fixes the malware, and it helps to block malicious users. So we're going to install that. I'll show you how that works. Again, very easy to deploy. Activate the plugin, and as soon as that happens, you're already protected.
Oh.
Just like that. Okay, so then it prompts you, congratulations, you're using it. Let's set up an alert. So we just put Sasha at category5.tv, and then we'll turn. You can leave on or turn off, but I'm going to turn off getting security emails because that's not of interest to you personally.
Nope.
And I'm going to go get alerted. So now your admin alert address has been set to Sasha at category5.tv, and you can start the tour or you can close. So now what that means is if someone tries to hack your site, you'll get an email that says, friendly email that says somebody tried to hack your site. They're now blocked. And the only reason I like that is because it reminds me that it's working.
And I don't need to take any action against that person, or I don't get it. No, I don't.
That's right. So let's take a look. Wordfence is now on our menu here, and you can see blocked IPs and things like that. You can see the scan that's taking place. But let's go into options. And you can feel free to browse these things. It's got a firewall. It's got login security, and this is what I'm talking about. This option enables all login security options. You can modify individual options further below, so I would just check that off.
Okay.
But let's see what that actually does. Firewall rules. Login security options. Force admins and publishers to use strong passwords. Good. Lock out after how many login failures? If somebody's trying to guess your password 20 times, it's going to lock them out.
Okay.
All right. Lock out how many times they can use the forgot password attempt form.
Oh.
And those kinds of settings. So out of the box, you're probably fine to use the settings. You can tweak them. People are going to guess at the password and try to figure their way in if they ever figure out to go through potato. But Wordfence is going to stop them if they guess the password 20 times.
And they won't
block the IP, cut them off.
Right. Good luck to you, hackers. You're not getting through. You're not finding me.
Not today.
Not today.
You're going to have to find another WordPress blog.
That's right. One where Robbie isn't the super master admin guy.
Well, that's as simple as it is to get our initial security set up. Don't feel like, okay, we're done. No, this is real, folks. the internet is an evolving thing. People are hacking all the time. People are finding ways to get into WordPress and other website architectures and things. You need to stay on top of it. When WordPress says, when you log in, there's an update, download the update.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
On a future segment, I'm going to show you a program called Updraft Plus. It's a very good backup tool for your WordPress site. It's important that as you do your updates, great to have Updraft Plus because it keeps a backup before the update happens. Because sometimes if you update, it might break something. Updraft Plus makes sure that you've got a backup that you can instantly revert to if something goes wrong, and then you can call a professional and they'll help you out. So there you go. That was crazy.
That was
getting through tonight's show. I just can't believe the time. I wish I could just go on and not feel rushed.
That was a great episode.
I hope that you folks have learned how to secure up your WordPress blog, and that it is not something to be intimidated by, but you need to know your way because it helps to know the search terms, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, jot them down.
Thank you very much for reading my blog, and stay tuned. There will be more.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading them too. So, SashaDermatis.com. How do we do it? D-I-R...
M-E-I-T-I-S. D-I-R. Me it is.
Me it is. All right. That's all the time that we have, folks. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Bye.
I'll see you next Tuesday night. Krista will be here.
Yes.
So, talk to you then.
All right. Bye.
Night.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.